Hi guys, welcome back to Handmade with Tara. This is Tara, and if you are new here, I am a stay-at-home mom to 3 beautiful boys, and I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator. And if you know, that being said, if any time during this video my children come and interrupt me, I'm gonna apologize right now, but that might happen. Okay, so I designed a workshop around this Christmas barn set for Christmas time. Is coming up. Okay, so I know it's only September, but we're gonna get started early on making those Christmas cards because they're handmade, they take some time, and I'm really excited about this workshop. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So this Christmas barn set is from the mini catalog, the July to December 2022. It is on page number 28. You can see here, this is the Christmas barn. So, let's see. All right, very clear, nice and easy. All right, so page 28, and it has the Christmas barn bundle has the stamp set, and it also has the dies that go with it. All right, let's go. So, I made 3 cards for this workshop, and I'll show you them, and then I'll get started making them. So, this is the first one. So, beautiful. It's got some embossing with the die cuts. It has some fussy cutting here, so. And then the second card is this one. You can kind of see that barn in the background. And then this one has an inside stamp as well. And then the last one is this one. So, very cute, very easy. This is a beginner level series course for people who are new, starting out, don't have a lot of stamps, colors, blends, all those things yet. I tried to use the same blends on all the cards, the blends that I used, and I tried to use the same stamp sets on the different cards as well, just to make it easier for people who are just starting out. I also used only one designer series paper, which was the Sweetest Christmas Suite. So here's some of those colors here. It's like the candy cane one. Obviously I've gotten into this one. So, but it has like a bunch of really fun patterns in here and beautiful designs on this paper here. Okay. And I tried to use minimal materials for newbies, so people who are just starting out, and hopefully get some people to get going on their stamping journey, right? So, all right, this first card. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'll show you the card again. This is the one we're going to make first. All right, and this is what you need for this card. So I went ahead and I labeled these with the dimensions that you need. All right, and this is real red, which matches very nicely with the Sweetest Christmas set. Here, let me make that so it's not so crooked. Like that. So if you need to, right now is a great time to pause the video and write down all of the measurements that you're going to need for the workshop here. So, okay. All right, do we got that? For this one, I did only use inches for metrics. So these are all inches. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start building this card. So this is cardstock, cut 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. All right, then I'm going to layer, so the red cardstock with this cardstock, this 5 1/4 by 4. And then I'm going to use this one for stamping my barn, and this one for stamping the sentiment. All right, so I can go ahead and get my stamps out. So I'm going to use this Memento Tuxedo black ink. I'm going to go ahead and stamp the barn, which I already have on a block ready to go. And I just give it a good tap until all the surfaces are covered so I can see through that stamp pretty well. And then I'm just going to stamp down on this one. So, and it's plenty big enough for whatever I want to stamp on here. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this. All right, looks beautiful. Clean this off with my Simply Chamois so that it's ready for my next project. All right. And then I'm going to use the, I need my tree stamp. I'm gonna do my tree. So these are photopolymer stamps, so they look like this. Here, I'm just gonna do a little switcheroo with this one. And save this other one for a later day, for a later project. All right, and then I'm gonna stamp this one in garden green. So if you have garden green, great. If you don't, use Memento and then color it in with green. Whatever green you have, all right? We're not gonna be picky about it. All right, so stamp it on that tree. And I don't need another tree. I think I only did one, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean that off. Again, you'll see me use my Simply Chamois, cleaning off all of my stamps to keep them fresh and looking good. And then I actually think I did garden green for the wreath as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and stamp that one as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stamp that on. Okay. And close that up. And then I'm just going to use Real Red. So these are blends. And I'm just going to use the Real Red. Doesn't matter which one, the light or the dark. I'm going to use the dark to color in this bow. Very traditional, right? The green and the red. Here. Here. Perfect. And then I am going to use the bronze and ivory because I really like the way that the bronze looks for the barn. usually I would color this beforehand, but honestly, if you're following along with me, it's probably easier if we just do it together. This way I know about how much time, you know how much time it's going to take to color these all out. And some people maybe color faster than others, or maybe you want to scroll through this if it's something that you know you can do later. Come back to it. All right. Doesn't have to be perfect, just sweetly handmade, right? All right, I put all my love into these cards, right? All right, I'm gonna bring out the Real Red again. And again, I picked the dark one. And I'm just gonna go around all the windows, all the barn doors, and all these. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. Like, you can leave it white, you can leave them white, or you can decide how you want to color it. If you don't have Real Red, you can definitely use whatever your preference is, and still gonna come out with a beautiful product. Right. I don't like to be too perfect on these things, right? So then I'm just gonna use the ivory and come back in and fill these little windows in. Just like that. Oh, I forgot this one up here. Oops. Whoopsie. All right, just kidding. Make sure I got the dark one again. I did. And then I left the roof white because it's like snow, right? So do all the coloring, makes it so much easier. All right, now I'm going to use the die cuts, and I'm going to cut these right out with my embossing machine. So my embossing machine's really clunky, and I don't like to like put it underneath the camera because it just doesn't leave enough space. But these are the dies. This will fit right over the barn. And then I'm gonna grab the tree and the wreath, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut all these out so easily. You can also do this by hand if you don't have the dies, so you can still do the project even if you don't have these dies. You don't need them, but it's awesome if you do have them. It just makes it so much quicker, so much easier, and just saves you all kinds of time, because this would take me a little while to fussy cut everything out, but it can be done. And that's the important thing, right? Right. I wish I had that thing, you know, like on the reels on Instagram where you just snap your fingers and there they go. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these. Oh, see, I use just a little bit of tape to hold my dies in place because I don't have a magnetic board, but that is on my wish list of something that I'm going to get in the future. A magnetic embossing board to hold these dies right into place where you want them. So we don't have to use so much tape, but that's okay. Because I'm still pretty new at this too, so I do what I can with what I have. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put those away for a minute, and then start building. Oh, I have to do one more embossing thing. Okay, so I actually used the stitched rectangles, the stitched rectangle stitch dies, rectangle stitch dies. And this step is not necessary. Like, you can see that it just gives it a little bit of dimension. But, I mean, if you just kept it flat, then that would be fine too, honestly. I used the stitched rectangle on this one too, just to give it some character here. So, I think this is the one. Nope. I used this one. So I just am like, I don't even remember what I used. I'm just guessing. That looks good, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that through the embossing machine as well. And I just put it as perfectly centered as I can. I didn't do anything super fancy with this because I wanted to make it beginner friendly for people who are just starting out making cards, who may or may not have an embossing machine. So it's like not a big deal if you don't. You just don't have to. You can skip this part, but it does give it more dimension. So yes, I have two pieces here. Oops, try not to rip my designer paper. And let's go ahead and, so I'm going to glue this piece down, and you can use glue, or you can also use your Stampin' Seal if you have one. So I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal just in the spirit of saving time. I think that, I don't know, maybe glue's the same. Maybe glue's the same. Maybe it doesn't matter if it's fast or slow here. All right. So that's just going to go right down on this red piece, and there's going to be a little red rim all the way around, centered the best that you can. All right, does not have to be perfect. So yeah, you can see I kind of like have a little bit extra on that side. That's okay. I'm not gonna cry about it. And I'm gonna get some dimensionals for the other piece that's gonna go on top. But before I do that, let me go ahead and use the stitched rectangle die for my sentiment. So I'm going to go ahead and just run that through the embossing machine. And then that piece is ready to stamp, and then this I can save for maybe something else. Put those stitched rectangle stitch dies, these rectangle stitch dies. All right, I'm just going to set that aside, and I am going to go ahead and let's see, where is my sentiment? I'm going to go ahead and grab that Merry Christmas. Throw that on one of my blocks. So all of my smaller blocks are being used for something else. I'm just going to use this giant one, which obviously don't need one this big, but, and then I also stamped this in garden green. So this is all just sticking to one color here, or actually two, including the black. I'm going to go ahead and stamp this. And I try to center it the best that I can. And boom. Yeah, that's all right. Clean that off. that aside and close this Stampin' pad up. And then the next step I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and I'm going to attach the barn to the front. And I kind of have it like that, kind of like at the lower end. And then I put the, I do, okay. So I put my wreath on the top of the barn. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a little glue on there and put that at the top, like that. And then I also have the tree is gonna go, oh no, okay, all right. So a little bit of glue like that. And that's gonna go kind of like a little bit behind the barn, like that. So obviously I didn't glue the barn down like crazy. And you can also pop that up on dimensionals if you want to give it more depth, especially if your card isn't two pieces. So this is what I'm gonna use these dimensionals for. And I just have these minis that are right here ready to go. I'd actually prefer to use the bigger ones for this because it's a bigger piece of paper, but all of my big ones are being used somewhere else. So just kidding on that. I don't think I have any. I need to see if I have some extra ones somewhere. Couldn't find them. Okay. So, and then I'm going to put this on, just kind of lined it up perfectly, and it gives it a little bit of depth. So yeah, I definitely would have rather used the bigger ones, but that's okay. And then the Merry Christmas to you and yours is just gonna go right here in this top corner here. So I'm just gonna lightly put this on like the bottom corner. Of course I just did it backwards, but that's okay. We're gonna make do. So, and then I'm just going to put that right there. You can move it over if you want to, but since I put glue on both sides, I'm just gonna put mine right here and attach it right there above the barn. Super simple and easy, but very, very beautiful card. So I like my other one better. I think it's more centered. So, but very pretty. And then I'm gonna go ahead and attach this to the white. Background. Okay. So try to give a little edge all the way around and attach that. So, like I said, you can pop up the different things like as you want to with the dimensionals. That gives it a little bit of interest. It makes it interesting and awesome. And this one is done. You can stamp the inside if you want to too, but I chose not to on this one. So similar, but a little different because this one's a little bit more perfect, right? I really took my time on that one. Anyway, okay, moving on to the next card. All right, so that is this card here. Again, all right, and for this one, again, a lot of straight cuts that I used and die cuts, of course. So this is crumb cake. White, lots of white, always lots of white. And so this DSP is double-sided, and I actually used this side for this card, so I'm going to change that. And you can, here, pause the video if you need to write down the dimensions of everything. Or if you're doing it along with me, I'll just wait a second. All right. So again, I made these very simple for beginners. Total beginners can totally do this, right? So I definitely did one like this. This is a 5 1/4 by 4. And the 5 1/4, 5 1/4 by 4 is a great insert piece. So I don't know why I always do this first, but like I want to stamp this one first and then I like to attach it to my card here. So I can at least be done with one part of it, right? And then these we'll get to. So for this one, I used crumb cake paper and I used crumb cake ink. So I'm going to go ahead and open this. And what I did was I stamped my barn. All right, so you can see it through nice and easy. And then what I did was I stamped off once and then I stamped on my card. Just like that. So that's, see how much darker this is than this? But you can still see it perfectly. So if you can see that. Sorry, I have a little bit of shadows. I was trying to help with the shadows, but you can see. Okay. And then clean this one off like this with my chamois. Set that aside for a second. And then I used real red. So real red, and I did the Merry Christmas to you and yours. So the same stamp I just used on the other card, which is fine because I mean you're never gonna, you're not gonna give the same Christmas card to two people, so you can totally make them similar but different, right? And I just stamped right over top of the barn. So you can do it like closer to the top. You can do it right in the middle. I'm just going to do it kind of like right there. Like that. Clean this one off. Set that aside. Okay, so this piece is done. So I definitely always recommend that you stamp first before attaching to the card, because if you mess up, you can fix it. Whereas if you glue it down before you stamp it and then you mess up, I mean, you're stuck with whatever you have. You might have to scrap the whole project. But I mean, this way you're saving yourself that hassle of having to either start all over or to have a project that's really messed up and like unsalvageable. Right, so now the inside is done. Bone folder, here it is. To just flatten that out. Okay. And then the next part I'm going to do is the white part. So I'm going to, this is the 3 by 3 1/2 by 3 1/2 piece. And I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing with the barn. So I'm going to stamp it off with the crumb cake. So the crumb cake matches the cardstock here. So the idea is we make a cohesive project. Okay, so you can see that pretty well. Stamp off, boom. And then for this one, I kind of stamped it to the back right. So I'm going to just put that down just like that. So I'm getting that nice barn. Then we also want to do the tree, so I did that one, same thing. The tree, stamp down, stamp here, do it one more time. Stamp here, stamp here. So I might have not did that perfectly, but that's okay. Just give some trees around the barn here, makes it look pretty. And I'm gonna clean this one off. And then the next step is there are some little, it looks like footprints to me, but like these prints right here, it's just like walking in the snow type of footprints here. I'm just gonna throw these on a small block here. And I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. So just stamp and then stamp in that corner. So nice and easy, but do the best that I can here with what I got. So go ahead and put these back in here because that's the only thing I need them for right now. And then that top part is good. Now the next part that I'm going to do is I'm going to use the real red, and this time I'm going to stamp my joy, may joy fill your heart. So I need may joy fill your heart. Stamp. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw this on the back of the barn one. So I can use both sides of this, which is really awesome. And it's for perfect placement, you can like take the barn off. But since I'll just do it. I'll take the barn off just so they make it easy for you to see. Let's put that over there. So boom, boom, boom. You can see that perfectly, right? And then we're just going to go right over top of this. So like so. That looks nice, right? Looks awesome. And so I'm going to put the barn one back on there because I'll need that for the last card. And I'm going to put this one away. Pretty easy to put away here. You see how quickly I can like just go in between blocks as I need to. Pretty easily. Okay, so now this piece is okay, and I'm going to attach that to the Designer Series paper. So the Designer Series paper again is 3 3/4 by 5. 3 3/4 by 5. And I'm going to just use my tape runner here, my Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to attach this piece to this one. So I kind of did it towards the top middle. So top middle like that. Just like that. And then the next step is I'm going to stamp some trees, and I'm going to stamp the little people in the carriage is my next step. So the tree I stamped in Evening Evergreen on this one. So this one has a couple more colors, but I just wanted to give it a different look. So we're trying different colors. So stamp this, stamp. That's one, and I think I did two. And then I'm going to clean this off. And I'm going to stamp, okay, so the people I stamp in my black Memento ink again. So that's this one. And then these are actually gonna throw this one onto this block. Then you just tap, tap, tap till you can see it pretty clearly. Maybe give it another little tap, tap. Like that. Oh, you can see that clearly. And then I'm just gonna stamp that at the bottom here. Just like that. And then clean this off. Okay, so for this one, again, I'm going to use the bronze and ivory. So, and I use this one for the sleigh. Okay. Okay, even did the front and the bottom. And the reins to the horse. And the mane of the horse and the tail of the horse. And then I did ivory for the horse. And I don't have to be super perfect because I'm going to use my die cutout and I'm going to cut this out. Just like that. And then I also use this one for the faces. So just to make it easy, right? So the bronze and ivory comes in a set like this. Okay, and then the other colors that I used are, of course, real red to tie in the real red. And I used the dark and the light. So this one is the light real red. So I'm just going to color in this blanket that's hanging out. And the woman's dress. And I'll just say it's her coat. There we go. And I use the dark red to come on and outline that red scarf, or that red. Just give it some more character. And then I used light and dark gray granite for the gentleman here. So he's gonna wear gray. And their boots are gonna just be gray, right? And his hat's gonna be gray. And so this is the light. I'm just gonna finish coloring him his pants. So it's a little bit different color, but it's similar. And then lastly, I'm just gonna color his scarf. And this is Granny Apple Green that I used. And I mean, you can use the Evening Evergreen to match the trees, but I kind of wanted something different. And this is for their scarves. I don't know, I think this green is a very pretty green. Their scarves and their gloves. So simple. And then I just left the lady's hair white, but you can color it with the ivory if you want to. So I'm gonna go ahead and die cut these out. So that's my next step. I just need to find where I put my dies. So the tree, and then this is the carriage right here. So very simple, didn't do too much like crazy stuff. Just tried to keep it simple. And again, I'm using my washi tape just to hold these into place while I cut them, while I die cut out these trees and carriage. And there's one, there's two, and I just need one more tree, which you can add more if you want more, always. So, and I guesstimated a bigger piece of white for this, just so that I would have plenty of space. That way, if you make any mistakes, you can have plenty of extra paper to, so like, this is the paper that I was like, okay, this is what I need for this project. Obviously, if you'd rather just not cut this piece, you can use, whatever scrap piece of white that you have. Luckily, you don't need that much space for these little dies. And, I mean, this I can save for another project still. And then this is what I have so far. So I did use dimensionals again to pop these up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Again, I'm using the small ones. Just give it some character here and some dimension, depth, texture. Move those. So, and then I just kind of layered them on top of the ones that I already did. So kind of like this, so you can still see the ones behind it, but don't cover them up completely. So still, and then like that. And then this one I also popped up. So I'm going to, so since I'm going to have the people like overlapping on this side, I just want to put the dimensionals on this side. So I used to, you can probably get away with, I probably used to. Okay. So I'm going to kind of line it up with the bottom of the card, of the bottom of the white, and boom, put that down. Now I can go ahead and attach this. Oops. Like that to this. So you definitely want to, especially if you've already attached the insert, just make sure you're doing it the right way here. And then I'm going to put it centered on the card. Simple. Beautiful. And then at the end here, I just added some embellishments. So I'm just going to add some of the red, green adhesives. So, because they do have silver and gold in here as well. So I'm just going to add a couple of the silver dots here. Silver pearls adhesives. And there, kind of like, maybe looks like snowfall or something. So, and I did the white, basic white pearls for the other one, so I'll show you the difference because they're similar but different. Put my adhesives away. All right, so the second card is done here. Super easy, and you can see the difference between the pearls. You can kind of see these a little bit better. These are like white like snow. I don't know. I like them both. But that's card number 2. And I obviously, look, I did color this one differently. I used different colors. The green looks like this green, but I don't know. I think I like this one a little bit better. Yeah. All right, card number 2, all done. All right, now last final card. This is definitely, I think, my favorite just because of the design of the card. This one, use a little bit of ribbon, a little fake out ribbon. I'll show you how to do that. And then this piece, oh, I forgot to label it. It is a 1 by 1.5 piece. 1 by 1.5. This one right here. And here we go. Just kind of layer these through. So this one's just like a scrap piece that I used for the wreath. So just to give you an idea what that's for. And then here are all of the other pieces for this card. So you can go ahead and take a second to write that down. And I am gonna go check on my babies. I'll be right back. hopefully you got all the measurements written down. And I'm gonna hustle through this card because baby boy needs some attention. So you probably didn't even need to stop that one. Sorry. Totally happens sometimes. Okay, so with this measurement, you're gonna have the middle measurement, but then you're also gonna have this second measurement. So this is where you're gonna fold it back like that. Use your bone folder to flatten. And then I'm going to attach the small designer series paper here. And all designer series paper is double-sided, so you can choose the candy canes or the green. So, and I used the green side. I thought that that looked nice. So you can go ahead and attach that down, like on that little strip of space. And then over top of that, you're going to use the longer 5.5 piece, and then you open it like this. Dude, I just learned how to do this, and I love this style card. I think it's really cute. So I just use a little bit of like regular tape, and then you tape it down on the inside like this. Maybe should have I should maybe made it more centered. Maybe I will move this a little bit. Oh yeah, of course. Baby knows that mommy's doing her workshop, so he is not happy. He's not getting my undivided attention right now. Oh, I gotta just push through. Okay, so that's how you attach this piece here. And then you can glue this side and cover that tape up. So, like that. And then we're going to go ahead and glue that down like that. Give it a couple of presses, and then this insert is going to go right here. So this is the, I think it's 4x4. Yeah, 4x4. The 4x4 piece. Insert. We're going to push that down here. And so the inside is good. I didn't stamp on the inside of this one, so I just left it blank. So, and then this other designer series paper, 4x4. So, and remember I said it's double-sided, so I actually use this side. The candy cane side is the side that I put up. And again, all this paper is the Sweetest Christmas Designer Series paper. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that down, and I kind of line it up with this piece over here. So, oh my god, super cute already. You don't even need to add the top, but we're going to. I gotta show you how to. Okay, this other piece of ribbon too, the 3.5 piece, goes around this one and just tie it in a knot. So you just tie it around. So I used red on my other one. I'm going to use gold on this one to show you it works. And then you can pull that tight, and then you can move it up and down this piece so that you can put it where you want it. And then you can fix the ends of that too, but I kind of like it the way that it is. And then the last bit on this one, I'm going to, this 3.5 by 3.5 piece, I'm going to do my barn. So let me grab the barn. And then for this one, I used the black Memento and colored it in again. Half debating whether I should use, let me see if this works. And I just colored it all solid color. So let's use, this is soft suede. I'm going to use the soft suede and see if this works, because it's already colored in and the roof is left white, which is what I want. So I'm going to stamp this kind of towards the top of the piece, white, and that looks fine to me. And clean this one off. Close this one up. That soft suede worked very nicely, I think. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to stamp, I did the fence, so I'm actually going to need, since I already have this one on the block, I'm going to use this 4 by 1.5 white, and I'm going to stamp I'm going to do this one in this soft suede as well, and I'm going to see what it looks like, since I did the other one in black, and then I just colored it in. Let's see how this one looks. All right. That looks nice. I like this soft suede. It's like a deep, rich, chocolate-looking color. Okay, so now I am done with this one. And I can, oh, I need the fence. That's right, I need the fence. And surprise, surprise, I'm gonna use that soft suede. I used black on my original one, and I think the soft suede just looks nicer. So I did it kind of like off on one side a little bit, but all the way, you know, towards like the bottom a little bit. Like that. And I thought about doing it on this side too. I think that might look nice too. But I'm not gonna do that on this one. Maybe on the next one. Put this away. And then on this one, I didn't do any trees. And I kind of was like, maybe I should have did some trees, but I didn't do any trees. And that's all right. All right, so that is all good and good. Now the next part I need is that little green piece that I lost somehow. Oh, here it is. The little green piece. So I did the reef with this one, but I'm actually gonna do the reef on this side this time and see what that looks like. And I just used a die cut for this, and I'm gonna use the die cut for this one as well. Oops, wrong one. I need my dies. There they are. So I used the wreath and this one again. So this one does have like a lot of other dies I didn't choose to use for this project, or any of these projects, just to make it easy, just keep it simple. And this one, gonna do on the embossing machine. For that. And here is the other piece, just like that. So, and you can use the green side if you want to, but I was thinking maybe this side. And then I'm going to stamp that. Oh, I need to put the ties back first. So. All right. And the reef stamp. Oh, it's already on. So I used, this paper is garden green, so I'm going to use the garden green. So again, you can use this side with the designer paper if you want. Maybe that's good. I embossed mine on my original one, but I didn't really particularly like the way that it looked embossed. So you can choose to emboss it if you want to. I'm going to choose not to, just in the sake of saving time. My baby, he needs me. I can hear him crying, poor guy. All right. So the last thing that I did was I embossed this with the gingham folder. So the gingham embossing folder, it gives it this really cool texture. I'm going to go ahead and run this through the embossing machine. And I'll show you what that does. I know my son can hear that baby, my older son, and he's probably gonna come yell at me, but look at that. That adds that really cool looking texture. I thought it kind of looked like snow. You see that? And I saw somebody do this and I was like, how clever, right? So, and then this piece, let's see, I'm gonna glue it down. And like I said, you can color in your barn if you want to. I am not going to do it this time, but I might come back and do it later. And then I'm just going to put this right in the middle here. So you have that beautiful candy cane in the background. And then, so you see how my wreath looks? I don't know if I'm super happy with that, so I can change it up if I want to, but I did throw that on a dimensional, so I'm going to do that. And I'm probably going to use this side, the green side, and put it on there just like that. And then this, I'm definitely going to come back and color later, but Mom's got to do what she's got to do. Please bear with me. Sorry. I'm rushing through to finish this up. Poor buddy. All right, last one. I'm just going to attach this down at the front here, kind of like right in front of the gate, but on the snow. And then easy enough to come back and color that later, but look how gorgeous. So beautiful. And again, you can emboss this if you want. You can do it on white, stamp it, and then emboss it. So give it a gold, kind of matching this. That's what I think I thought I might do with this one, but you can see it on this one. So, and I kind of like that red a little bit better than the gold, but because it brings in the candy canes. But like, see how I embossed that? So it's like golden shimmery. It's kind of fun, but I thought maybe it was a little much. I actually like the barn on this one better. So it was really, I mean, just your preference. And then I just colored it in like, you know, using the same blends, just tried to stick to the same one. So I'm not grabbing all my new ones, but that is the last card. Thanks for bearing with me. I'm really sorry. I'm going to go ahead and rush off of here now so that I can help my little baby, but that is my Sweetest Christmas Christmas barn tutorial for tonight. So these are the 3 cards, and I hope you liked it. And if you do it, please give me a like in the comments, and if you try it out, let me know how you liked it. If you're watching this, you know, and you like what you see, give me a like and subscribe so that you can see more videos that I post. Thank you so much, and have a great day.